Hey guys, today we're talking about the top credit cards for beginners. My wife and I have traveled the world to over 39 different destinations, flying for free using points and miles. And today I'm going to share with you the top 5 credit cards that you can use to take your first free flight. Hey guys, my name is Andrew Wise with Life Tailored, and we talk about everything that makes your life great. Make sure to subscribe down below to learn all of my credit card life hacks and learn how you can fly the world for free using points and miles. But today we're talking about credit cards for beginners. If you know nothing about credit card points or airline miles, let's start here because I'm going to tell you what are the 4 credit cards that any beginner can get and start racking up points for free flights. But to kick things off, let's talk about how to build your credit score fast. To get approved for these top credit cards, you're going to need to bump up your credit score, and no matter if you have 0 credit or a bad credit history, these tips are going to help you. So the first tip is, whenever you have a credit card, never carry a balance. Not only is the interest rate killer, it has a negative effect on your credit score. The second point is, what you want to do with your credit card is put money on it, pay off that money, and repeat. That's the best way to build credit. If you're starting out with 0 credit history and you just have a $250 credit limit, what you want to do is spend $250 on your normal purchases, pay off that amount, and repeat. The more the banks see that you're able to pay off a balance month over month over month, your credit score is going to go up. Now the third tip is going to be that once you do get a credit card, never close that card. Your credit score is a complicated algorithm based up of a number of factors, and one of those factors is how long have you had your credit cards open. I have some of my credit cards dating back to college. I'm not going to date myself and say how long that is, but the cards I opened in college are still open for me because the credit card companies look at that length of credit profile. And basically when you sign up for a card, one of these 4 cards I talk about, you're going to keep this card for the rest of your life. And that's why these cards are so important. It builds your credit history, they all have no annual fee, and they all offer tremendous rewards. So the 4th thing you need to do is go to annualcreditreport.com. This is a government program that allows you to get a free credit report from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You get 1 report for free per year, and what you want to do is go on that report and see if there's anything wrong. When I was first getting started, I noticed that I had my name misspelled, which 1 I had to correct. And 2, I also noticed that it had me missing a credit card payment. I had made every payment every single time, but for some reason on the report it said I missed a payment in November of 2004 or something like that. So what you want to do then is you can contact the credit bureau and say, hey, you guys have made a mistake, you need to audit this report and fix it. And almost 99% of the time they're going to go in and fix that report for you. Sometimes you can miss a payment and get that removed from your account. Other times it's honest mistakes and they can be removed. But until you check out your free credit report, you're not gonna have any idea what they're looking at and what might be determining why your credit score isn't as high as it should be. And again, the website's annualcreditreport.com. I'll put the link down below. It's free, it's awesome, check it out. So the 5th point is, when you're getting into this credit card stuff, it's easy to get excited and start applying for a ton of different credit cards. The thing is, the more you apply for credit cards, the lower your score becomes. What you want to do as a general rule is maybe apply for 1 card every month and space things out, because every time you have your credit take a hit or take an inquiry, it drops down your credit score. So if you're trying to get one of these top cards, don't apply for anything for maybe a couple months just to make sure your score recovers and goes back up. Credit inquiries like this aren't permanent effects on your credit score, but if you're applying for credit cards or loans or anything like that, the more inquiries you have, the lower your score becomes for a 30 to 60 day window. Okay, so now that we know how to bump up our credit score and make sure it's as high as possible, let's talk about the basics of credit card points. So rule number 1 of credit card points is never redeem your points for anything less than 1 cent per point. So a lot of credit card programs will allow you to buy merchandise. They have like a Sky Mall type of thing. You can buy Bose headphones or audiobooks or all sorts of crap like this. Never spend your money on these built-in gift stores. These are always going to get you less than a penny per point and aren't a great redemption. The second point is, where you do want to spend your money is on international travel. So if we assume a credit card point is worth 1 cent, if you're redeeming for first class international travel, you can get up to 9 cents per point. This is tremendous value, and this is how you can have a private bed in the sky like Singapore Suites. Check out my video up here where I talk about how to actually book this flight. It's an amazing experience and it's something that you can definitely do, and you're starting in the right place. You're right here. Point number 3 is the more you learn, the farther you can travel. And what I mean by this is, when I first got into credit card points, I didn't know the best award redemption and how to maximize my points. And a really quick example is, if I wanted to fly from LAX to Sydney on Delta's Business 1 class, that's their amazing cabin in the sky, and for LAX to Sydney, it's a super long flight, you want to fly in this cabin. If you're booking with just Delta itself and using Delta points, it costs 300,000 miles. But if you know the tricks and are booking with Virgin Atlantic on that same Delta flight, you only have to pay 150,000 miles. So the more you learn about the ins and outs, the more you can travel. You can take 2 trips to Australia or bring a friend or a spouse or whomever. And that's why it's important that you're starting in the right place. Keep the education going. I'm gonna put a playlist up with more tips and tricks on how you can fly further with credit card points and miles, but keep learning and keep building your knowledge base. And for the final point is, make sure you subscribe to some sort of points and miles blog or vlog. Subscribe down below. The reason being is these credit card programs are always changing. Marriott Bonvoy is the new hotel rewards program, and this was developed over the past year or two, and it combined Ritz-Carlton, SPG, and Marriott all into one program. And there's a lot of ins and outs and intricacies that you have to understand. And only if you're on top of all this stuff, learning and keeping up to date, are you gonna be able to maximize your rewards points. So if you don't subscribe to my channel, there are tons of others out there, but either way, keep yourself informed so you know how to get the best redemption for your points and miles. Okay, so now that we know the basics of credit card points, let's talk about the top 4 credit cards for beginners to get started flying for free. So the first card is a card for people with very limited credit history, or maybe you have some negative credit impacts on your account. This is Discover It Secured Card. So a secured card, the way it works is you give the bank a deposit. In this case, it could be $200 to $2,500. And that deposit serves as your credit limit. So if you give the bank 250 bucks, your credit limit on the card is gonna be $250. We already talked about the best way to build our credit is to set up the secured card or whatever card it is, spend that 250 bucks, pay it off, and keep doing the same thing month over month. That's gonna build our credit score. But if we're looking at just this Discover It card, this is a fantastic way to build your credit, and it actually has rewards, which is very rare in a secured card. So the Discover It Secured actually earns 2x on restaurants and gas stations for the first $1,000 you spend. That's basically $20 in rewards for using your credit card. It may not sound like a lot, but remember, this is just the beginning. You're gonna build up from that, but $20 for free is better than nothing, right? And the great thing about this card is every 8 months, it checks to see if you're ready to move up from a secured to an unsecured card. And that leads us into the Discover It Student Cashback Card. So this card is just for students, but it's an unsecured Discover card, which is very similar to the first one. Also a 0 annual fee, plus it gets 5x in certain categories every year, which is fantastic. The categories include things like gas stations, restaurants, Amazon.com, and basically, if you spend money on this card, you get a 5% refund on any of these purchases, which is frankly fantastic. Plus, if you maintain over a 3.0 GPA, you get a $20 statement credit every year. So if you're a student just getting into these credit card miles, this is the card you're gonna check out first. So this next card is really fantastic for students who maybe already have an existing credit card, or for people with an existing credit history. It's the Chase Freedom Unlimited. New for 2019, it's offering 3x points on everything you spend in the first year, up to $20,000. Which basically means it's $600 in cash back or 60,000 points that you can transfer to these different airline partners. I mentioned that flight to Australia, it's 150,000 points for business class. So these 60,000 points get you about halfway there. If you were flying economy, these 60,000 points might be enough to fly to Australia, and it's all for signing up for a credit card with 0 annual fee. Now, another card that's really fantastic is a cousin or a sister of the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and that's a Chase Freedom card. So this card also has 0 annual fee, plus it gives you $150 in cash for free. So the $150 in cash is a sign-up bonus, and as long as you spend $500 within the first 3 months, you're gonna get $150 in cash or 15,000 bonus points. Plus, every quarter, you earn 5x in certain categories. So just like that Discover It student card where you can earn for gas stations or restaurants or Amazon.com, it's the same sort of categories. Now this card really requires you to maximize those categories and track everything and all that sort of stuff. But either way, 5x is a tremendous value, especially for beginners like us just getting into points and miles. So finally, the last card is the Blue Cash Everyday from American Express. it earns 3x back on grocery stores. I know in college I was doing a lot of meal prep, I was doing a lot of cooking, and going to the grocery store every Sunday and doing that cooking, and this Blue Cash Everyday card is the perfect companion for that. In addition to 3x back at grocery stores, you also get 2x at select department stores and gas stations. So if you're a college student driving to and from campus or anything like that, this is a great card to earn bonus points just for already spending money on things you're spending on. Plus, you get $150 in free cash or 15,000 points after you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months. So this card is really a great option for college students. So now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you think about these 5 different beginners credit cards? Which credit card do you have your eye on? Do you need any help boosting your credit score? Let me know down in the comments. I reply to every single comment and I'm here to help you guys out. Now that you've learned the best beginners credit cards, I want you guys to keep watching and learn how you can start hacking specific airline programs and different credit cards. I've got a playlist up here that teaches you everything you need to know about how to take free flights all around the world. We have new videos coming out every Monday, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram @LifeTailored.